Hello, Angel here, welcome to or back to my channel. It's time for another mini haul, take 2. Let's get this done. So, thank you for stopping by one more time. Goodness me, a second mini haul within a short space of time. Holy moly, I promise you there won't be another mini haul until the beginning of January after Christmas and birthdays happened, and you know, I get to open my super duper exciting gifts, which I have purchased for myself. Can I say that? I can, I've already said it. Too late, done and dusted. I've got 4 decks, not 8. I've got 4 decks to show you. I think we're going to jump straight in. I've got 3 new and 1 second hand. I do have one that I'm still waiting on, but I can't wait anymore because I want to just jump in and, you know, do the work with these decks. I'm going to say I got these decks this week, in the last couple of days, and therefore I haven't worked with them as yet. So yeah, what you know as much as I know if you don't have these decks. Okay, are we in agreement? Excellent. Let's get this show on the road. So the first deck I purchased is the Archeon Tarot. Now I have purchased these decks to work with the other decks that I showed you in my last tarot and oracle mini haul, which I'm going to link in the description if you'd like to take a look at that one. These decks are going to be working in combination with those decks that I showed, and yeah, this is for my inner mausoleum, inner dark fallen angel, facet of self work, shadow work, and even my shadow figure that I keep getting a little bit of a glimpse of in my peripheral vision. So with that being said, let's get to the cards. As mentioned, I haven't worked with these as yet, so I can't really tell you what the deck is like, unfortunately. This is the guidebook, mini little white book by Timothy Lands. US Games mass market deck, easily obtainable. Not that I'm trying to sell you a deck, because I'm not. I'm thinking I'm going to edge these in black, and I edged another deck, which I'm going to show you in a wee second, in black earlier this week, and I was like, I don't know if I should edge this one in black or not, or gold, I don't know. And I'm even thinking about possibly clipping off the black, I don't know. Watch this space, it might well be that I do end up chopping off the black edging. But the images was just so intriguing to me. They kind of feel a bit, I was going to say fuzzy, but that sounds a bit fluffy. It feels like there's a veil over the images for me. Like this darkness or this fog, which really intrigues me. It makes me feel like it's going to be good for my inner mausoleum work, because I feel that within my inner mausoleum, it is dark, and there is this veil over what I'm trying to explore and investigate within my inner mausoleum, I'm going to say. It all sounds a bit woo-woo again. But I just really felt drawn to the deck. I can't say any more than that, to be honest. And as mentioned, I think I mentioned it in my previous mini haul video, I don't want to read the guidebook. I don't want to know what the creator's intention was with this deck, because I know what my intention is with this deck, and I don't want to be swayed into their thoughts almost. So yeah, it's the way this deck has spoken to me, and the reason that I've purchased it. Yeah, and so I don't want to be swayed into moving away from that idea that I've gotten about these decks. So it's the same with all of these decks that I'm going to show you here today. So yes, I'm looking forward to working with this one. I think it's going to work really nice with the Dark Angels deck, which I showed in my previous mini haul video. So more about that in my November favourites. Let's move on to the next deck, which is an oracle. I'll tell you what, maybe we should take a look at the guidebook quickly. I almost forgot. Holy moly. Okay, let's draw a quick card. We shall draw this one, which is the King of Wands, I tell you. Oh, okay, so the guidebook is a mini little white book, as I mentioned. You've got quite a bit for the majors. And let's see what we've got for the minors. The whole book is in English. I didn't expect that, actually. I expected it to be different languages, but of course that's low Scarabeo decks, not US Games decks. So here we go. Let's do this. We've got the King of Wands, and we've got the title. We've got a bit of a quote, should I say? Let's get into it. When at last he rested, he knew the actions had been justified. Okay, not so much as a quote, but more of a title. King of Wands represents maturity, ambition, passion, loyalty, professionalism, education. King of Wands inverted represents severity, controversy, arrogance, insensitivity, and ruthlessness. Okay, so that's all we get. And then at the back, there is a bit of a spread here with the Celtic cross. So there we go, quite a basic guidebook. It doesn't bother me. I don't think I'm going to be going to the guidebook for this one. I think I'm going to be reading it intuitively. Now, let's move on to the next deck. So the next deck is the Journey of a Lonely Soul Oracle. This is a low Scarabeo deck. This is the back of the box, if you'd like to read. I don't want to read because I don't want to know. I'm turning my head as we speak. Pause to read if you'd like to. Yeah, little guidebook, which I like the size of it, although obviously it's going to be in several different languages, but that's all good. These are the backs, I think, are scrumptious. Gives me a total gothic vibe. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I edged mine a couple of days ago and I got it. I sat there in the middle of the night, basically edging a deck because, you know, I was feeling impatient. I want to get to it. I want to start using it, which of course I haven't gotten to anyway because the week's been so busy. We're going to look at the guidebook in a wee second. Can you remind me? Because I might forget. Please remind me. Make sure you shout it out if I forget. This is a deck that I'm again going to work with, I think, card for card in order. So we've got Inward Initiation, The Cave with No Windows. I think that's a really interesting title. Sorry, I'm knocking my desk. Sorry, I've got a new stand and it shakes the whole desk if I knock it, which is quite silly. Persephone Rising. Now I saw this deck originally a long time ago. I say that maybe like 6-8 months ago on Cody's channel, Tarot Readings from a Bitch, Dreamtime Odyssey, and they liked the deck, but they didn't like the artwork style because they felt that some images were quite repetitive. I haven't thought about that, to be honest, as I've been flicking through the deck. Misted Promenade. I like this bridge. What's the word? Image. It makes me think of the rainbow bridge that I was speaking about previously in my practice, with my facets of self walking across towards the next portal, towards the next leg of the journey. I like that. Rhapsody in Shadows. And I really like this red and black. Oh, it's just nom nom nom. I really like it. Edge of the Eternal. So I wonder if the video that I saw from Cody from Tarot Readings from a Bitch was quite a long time ago, and I wonder if they meant about the hair kind of being a repetitive feature in the card. I can't remember, to be honest. If I can find their video, I might link it in the description box. Gardens of Bones. That's interesting, considering that this is a very urban. This is very urban, isn't it? There's no garden in sight there. That's interesting. I might leave this one aside and read that in a second. Like a Leaf in the Wind. Who is this? Is this somebody helping? Is this somebody assisting? Or is this somebody that's possibly trying to hinder? Interesting. Divine Alignment. Antechamber of I don't know. Do you know? If you know it, say it. Scream the word so I can hear it. Yeah, no idea. Cradles by the Sky, or Cradled by the Sky, sorry. I like this, that they feel quite, they don't feel tethered. It's all very dreamlike. I like that. Like anything is possible in this realm that these cards are in. I like that. Architect of the Unseen, like this. Black Silk Armour, I like that too. What's going on behind them? That's interesting as well. Oh, very exciting. Cathedral in the Woods. Twilight Nocturne. I love this. This is how I want to be dressing, but I don't think it's socially acceptable in the area I live in. But this is totally my vibe since the beginning of October. Or even this, actually. I could go with this. Ballroom of Echoes. Love this. Floating in the Storm. I love that. That's like in the middle of that tower moment when you can't see anything and you just have to let it take you. Love that. Perpetual particulars. Diving towards the heavens. That's interesting. Reflections of artifice. Guiding stars zenith. I love this red. I love it. It's such a strong colour. Twilight debutante. Imposing impediment. I think there's just, I haven't got any deck like this with these kind of keywords on it. I think it's really going to be interesting to dive in. Covenant of regret, like that. Delicious. Wastelands of absolution. Return to abundant shores. Mystified innuendo. Stirrings of a welcome wind. I like this this architect behind the images as well. And this, it totally reminds me of Main Mausoleum. Solace in a secluded garden. Yummy. Not like a fairy tale. And finally, Portrait of a Seeker. Love that. There's only 32 cards. But I'm thinking, if you've seen my recent videos about the, what's the deck I'm thinking of? I'm going to grab it because it's here. It's right next to me. And I still can't remember what it's called. Wisdom of the Wild Things. This deck. I'm working with this one, card for card, in order. And I'm still on this card. I'm still working with this. Invite your monster to tea. So, although there's only how many cards are in this deck? There are 40. Wait for it. There are 45 cards in this deck. I started with this maybe like 2-3 months ago now, and I'm only on card 3. So, yes, there might only be 32 cards in this deck, but I'm thinking working with it as I want to, card for card. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think it's going to keep me well and truly busy. Let's move that out of the way because that's the wrong deck. So yes, I think this is going to go with the aesthetic of the other decks that I've purchased. I'm going to have a bit of a read from the guidebook for this one, Gardens of Bones, because I find it very interesting that we're in an urban setting, but we're talking about gardens. Okay, so the guidebook is like this. There are several different languages at the back. I usually put an elastic band where my language starts, so I don't have to flick through it because I'm a lazy Mowgli and I want to get to the bones of the matter straight away. Let's look at this. Let's put this in camera shot so you can see what's going on. So here we go. We've got a bit of an explanation about the deck, which I don't want to read because I don't want to know how to use the deck. And then we go straight into the description. So we've got a page pretty much for each. Almost. That's pretty good. Let's go to number 8 and let's give it a read. Okay. Take a sip of coffee if you're waiting. I won't keep you a moment. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to read the whole lot, but I'm going to read the first section. Gardens of Bones. Free of entanglements, her spirit floats into a new landscape, quite alien to one used to trees and mists. It is a world of artifice, conceived in human minds and assembled by mortal hands. Her curious eyes map out the components of each tower, reaching out to the heavens. Oh, I'm intrigued. Dare I continue? May I continue? Put me on fast forward if you'd like to. When we find ourselves in a strange or unfamiliar place, the wise will seek to familiarise themselves with their new surroundings. It can be uncomfortable to feel out of one's depth. But if you are patient, you will see past all that is random or foreign to you and begin to discover the many intricate rules and systems that govern this and keep it humming. Nothing in this universe is entirely separate. Every single thing is a constant relationship with everything around it. People function similarly. You know what I'm trying to say. Each of us is our own special maze of beliefs, customs and desires. The secret is to set aside your own expectations and whatever your mind tells you should be there, and instead to open your mind to the truth. Make sense of a person by observing their actions and reactions. When you are finally filled with knowledge and fluent in the language of this moment, it will be time for you to act and speak. And then we've got an ask yourself, which could be another prompt, like for maybe to draw another tarot card or an oracle card and have a bit of a continued dialogue with your deck, or maybe a journal prompt. What are the bare facts of this situation, uncoloured by emotion? What should I be paying closer attention to? I quite like that. Ooh, I think this is going to be a juicy Lucy Oracle deck. Should we move on to the next one? Let's. Okay, I'm back again. So I was thinking, you know, looking at my decks, I was thinking I'm so excited to get into work with these decks, and I just can't wait, you know. And what I'm going to do, my plan is my desk is too small for all ththese desks, so I'm going to set up a space on my floor with a lovely cloth like this one, which is quite big, and then, you know, I can leave my cards out, and I'm going to grab my Cluedo board and be working room to room and, you know, investigating my inner mausoleum, which I've spoken about. And so I was kind of looking at the decks that I'm, you know, feeling really drawn to for this practice, and the Tarot V caught my eye, and I thought, dare I do some playing with pairs? I do. She who dares wins. So we're back to this deck we just looked at, Journey of the Lonely Soul Oracle, and this is Tarot V, which I absolutely freaking adore. It's gorgeous, and it's such a good reader for me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just flip a few cards. To the Cave with No Windows, with the King of Pentacles, and look at the background. We've got a bit of a cave going on with no windows. Or fingers crossed they're going to be jiving and gelling together, these two. It's looking promising. Persephone rising with the Queen of Swords. I love this. She's got this soldier behind her protecting her. I like that. That I'm going to speak about. I've got a lot going on this month, pretty much as usual, and I'm doing some servitor work. I'm creating a servitor, which kind of reminds me of this. I'm creating a servitor for protection. I'm going to talk about that in another video, but this totally reminds me of this. Ooh, love. Dreamtime Odyssey with the Ace of Wands. I quite like this, that this kind of reminds me of the hair almost. Maybe I'm reaching. That's quite interesting. We're going to take two more. Misted Promenade and the King of Cups. Like this. This almost feels like an offering. We've got an apple going on here. And we've got this offering here. Okay, last one, I promise. Last one. Rhapsody in Shadows and the Four of Cups. Aren't they just... I feel they're speaking to each other. Yeah, exactly. I think so too. My kiddie boy is in agreement. Okay, I promise now we're moving on to the next deck. I promise. Sorry, we weren't supposed to be playing with pairs. So the next deck totally goes against the aesthetics. We're talking Grief, Grace and Healing, Oracle Deck and Guidebook. This is by Tanya Carroll Richardson. 64 cards. It's an insights deck. Here is the back if you'd like to have a nosy. Pause now if you'd like to read. Now, I purchased this one because of exactly what it says, Grief, Grace and Healing. And I feel with this inner mausoleum work that I'm, you know, doing in the middle of and still working with for the unforeseeable future, that I'm going to come across a lot of this grief. And I think this deck, when I, you know, saw it and read about it, it felt really relevant to my practice and exactly what I'm doing right now. And even in the future, actually, I think it's going to be a really good tool. This is the guidebook, which is quite meaty. And I got this yesterday and I opened it this morning because I got it quite late. I got home late from work, opened it this morning. And it comes in this really nice bag. It's a bit like a velour bag. I really like it. I didn't expect it to come in a bag. It's a mass market deck. The colours don't match the aesthetics, but, you know, I don't mind that. As long as the tool is a good tool, then I'm all good for that. So we've got almost three... I'm going to say suits or categories. So we've got healing. All of the cards are the same. So these are like the backs of the cards, right? So you've got healing. What's the next one? We've got grace, which we've got quite a few of those as well. It's the same illustration on the back. And then we've got grief cards. And the message is on the, I'm going to say the front then, in that case. So yeah, let me just read you the last healing one here. And then we can maybe go to the guidebook as well, because I haven't looked at the guidebook. I've literally just opened the deck. So we've got, this is the last card in the deck. 64, see the breakthroughs. There can be plateau periods in a healing pilgrimage. I love that. I love that concept of this pilgrimage, as well as seasons of rapid dramatic progression. This card suggests that some amazing healing breakthroughs have happened recently. Sit mindfully with them, digest the wisdom and examine all the layers. like that. Dawning enlightenment and personal development. See familiar faces and old patterns with new eyes. Boom. Love it. I really feel this is going to be really helpful. It's obvious, isn't it, that we need to see things and old patterns with new eyes, but to see it like written down, it's kind of like a reminder, like, yes, I know I should be doing this. It's in the back of my mind that I should really be doing this. But for me, it's really easy to forget that, to see things with new eyes. So let's just say here, we've got this number, we've got this like title, and then we've got like a message. Should we look at one message from each of the suits possibly? Is that going to be helpful to you? I don't know. Let's do this. Okay, so that was the healing. Let's take grace then. Thank yourself. Thank yourself for being an active source of grace in your life. Acknowledge your contributions to your grieving and healing cycles, the times you survived and even found ways to thrive. Love that. Forces outside you came to your aid, but you also saved yourself. Definitely love that. Feel proud. Emphasize self-esteem. Recognize your heroism. Love that. Keep being your own angel. Boom! Oh my goodness me. Oh, holy moly. Even if it's a fallen angel. Oh, Gordon Bennett. I like that message a lot. I'm going to go to the guidebook for that one in a second, if that's okay. And we're going to take one more. Let's take this one. Now I'm feeling, I know this sounds possibly a bit daft, but you know, it's my truth. We're coming up to the Christmas season. The Christmas season is really hard for me because of family dynamics. And every single year from 2016, I've promised myself that I'm going to make more of an effort at Christmas. I'm going to, you know, decorate my home, blah, 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 you know, really get into the Christmas spirit. And every year I just go into this deep sadness over, or grief actually. I think I've come to the point of thinking that it's grief. And so a couple of days ago, I thought, no, I'm going to, I went into my, auto response. I'm going to try this year and be more happy. And I'm going to try and celebrate Christmas, blah, blah, blah. And I put on some Christmas music to kind of get into the spirit. And this feeling of grief, like a blanket, just like this heavy blanket, like laid over me. And I was like, I need to turn this music off. It's like music that used to make me feel so good and used to really lift my spirits. And now it just really, it makes me feel so sad. So that's something I still need to work with. But, as shadow work, that's just the way it is, isn't it? We have to go, when we work through things and we think we've come to the side of them, we haven't. We still have to carry on working with them, or things come back in a different way. There's these patterns that keep returning, don't they, for us? Or they do for me in any case. Maybe I should just speak for myself. Stop talking. Read the card, Angel. Okay, so create your healing well. Taking in loss and grieving happens gradually. It's too much to feel or comprehend all at once. Making healthy space around an issue can be necessary. Create a healing well with your heart energy and place anything in it in its loving alchemical depths while you temporarily walk away to get some healing room. I like that. I really like that. I'm feeling that I've made a really excellent choice with this deck. When I got it out this morning, because I didn't realise the cards were like this, like these are all the most of the backs, and I was thinking, they're the same illustrations. And then I was thinking, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the tool, and it's all about what the message says to me and what it gives me. And I'm feeling really, this confirms to me that I made a really good choice. Can I be so bold and so cocky as to say that? I'm going to say that. I like this a lot. And I think it's going to give me a lot to continue dialoguing with my decks, I'm going to say. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to read from the guidebook for this as well. And I haven't looked at the guidebook. This is my first, I'm cracking it open for the first time. So let's look. I'm not so worried about reading I'm going to read the guidebook for this one because, although I know what I'm going to use this for, I'm quite happy to look at or hear what the creator's inspiration was or intention was with this deck. So we've got a bit of a how to use this deck, and then we go straight into the cards. We've got the expanded meaning, action steps, interesting. Okay, so we've got this expanded meaning and the action steps. That's interesting. We've got like 2 stages, and we've even got the message. So I'm going to go with this one because I really like this. Keep being your own angel. Love that. That like totally, felt relevant. Okay, so I'm not going to read this, I don't think. I'm going to let you read it if you'd like to, but I'm going to read it off camera. Here we go. If you'd like to pause, then pause. I'm hoping this comes through, or should I read it and maybe you, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, fingers crossed you can read it. Otherwise, shall I read it and you fast forward me? We'll do that. I'm going to put a timestamp in here. Forward to that timestamp if you'd like to hop over the guidebook meaning. Okay, expanded meaning. You may have many people you want to thank for their help during your grief and healing, which are ongoing. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, caregivers, spiritual advisors, neighbours, friends, loved ones, emergency responders, colleagues, counsellors, and anyone else who stepped up to assist you in a meaningful way might be on your thank you note list. Yet this card is also imploring you to stop and also thank yourself. You have likely had to fight for your own healing at times and fight to swim upstream against unfair circumstances, overwhelming painful emotions, and people or institutions that were the opposite of helpful. In many ways, you have been the magical source of grace that you needed during your grief. While your self-worth is inherent and never has to be earned or negotiated, this card suggests an increased sense of your self-worth, or your need to recognise it. When you count your blessings, be sure to count yourself among them. You have been your own angel. Love, love, love. Action steps. Make a mental or physical list of ways you acted as your own saviour or superhero during and following your loss. Put a name to or define your contribution. Did you act as your own advocate? Did you mother, nurture and soothe yourself? Were you your own coach at times, pushing yourself to keep going or aim higher? Perhaps you were a major player on your healing team. Remember that sometimes just meeting your day and being present counts as a miraculous effort when you are grieving. Think of yourself with pride, carry yourself like a resilient survivor, and view yourself with admiration and respect. It's likely that many people would be very impressed and inspired by elements of your story of overcoming obstacles, if they were told it. As you walk down the street, attend large events like concerts, or maneuver through a crowded grocery store, know that you are surrounded by people who have overcome incredible odds. Spend some part of every day focusing on your strengths. Set aside time to mindfully thank yourself in your thoughts during an exercise routine as memories resurface, during a luxurious bath or massage, or while taking yourself out to lunch as a treat. Grace might be sending you clues about ways you have behaved heroically and also ways to thank yourself for it. Continue to be your own hero. Like that. Sorry for the long guidebook entry. Very excited about this one. Very happy that I purchased it. Watch this space. Watch my November favourites. More on this deck coming very soon. Let's take a look at the last deck. Okay, so the last deck is a second-hand deck. A little bit of a story. Am I allowed to tell you? I think I should be allowed to tell you because why not? Okay, so I saw this deck secondhand and I was like, do I need this deck? I do have other decks, especially my super duper, which I'm loving, absolutely blooming loving, my Tarot V. Love it. I was thinking, do I really need this deck? And I was like, no, and I took myself out of it. And then the secondhand deck kept calling to me. It was like, woo, I haven't sold yet, come and buy me. And it was on a Facebook tarot buy, sell, trade group. And I did some, checking it out on TarotTube, and I was like, I don't know, I shouldn't really because it's expensive. And do I need it? Don't really need it. I've got Tarot V, love it, love this deck. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to buy it. And then a couple of days went by and I was like, that deck was still calling to me. And I went on YouTube again and I did some more walkthroughs. And I was like, oh no, I think I want to buy it. So I went back on Facebook and purchased it and received it a couple of days ago and blooming knocked my socks off. I'm loving it. It is the Bohemian Gothic Tarot. I don't know what edition this is because I'm a nincompoop. Let's look at the guidebook. Let's grab the deck out. And it came with a guidebook, which I was most impressed about. I'm going to say that this deck has never been on my radar. Is that naughty to say that? It's this, I don't know what edition this is. I don't know. I haven't done my research that thoroughly. And I've put the deck, I think, almost back into order, Don't quote me on that. I'm going to show you the guidebook in a wee while. I haven't looked. I've only looked through it twice because I've only just gotten this in. It came edged to me. I don't know if it comes edged in the box. I don't know. I can't answer that either. This has turned out to be a great haul video, isn't it? Let me grab my kitty cats because I'm just about to pull my altar cloth off of my altar. Right, okay, sorry, I'm back. Accident prevented. Right, so these are the backs. I think I said that. And they've got this, like, I think it's called spot gloss. I don't know. I don't do technical terms. But I just, honestly, the images, and I have seen this deck before. I've seen, because obviously, you know, it's a very popular deck, and, you know, it's on Tarot Tube, for instance, and I haven't felt drawn to it at all. And then when I saw it on this buy-sell page, I'm going to say, I was like, oh my goodness, it really was like, it kept calling to me, as I mentioned. Yeah, and I bit the bullet and I did it. I did it. I purchased it, and honestly, I think I'm in love with this deck. And I haven't used it. I haven't even used it yet, for goodness sake. But the images are just, I don't know. Oh, they are, again, I'm totally intrigued. It feels, again, you know, like this inner mausoleum. Oh, I love this gothic feel to it, you know, hence the name of the deck. It's kind of self-explanatory. Oh my goodness me, I really like it. Now, I'm sure you've seen this, so I'm not going to go through the whole of the deck. And with this deck, I am going to read the guidebook that came with it. And now I haven't, I think I mentioned, I think I got it 2 days ago. I actually got it, I got a notification on my phone that the deck had been delivered to my post box. Like at home, we have like a post box. We don't have a letterbox. We have like a post box outside of our homes here. And anyone can open that post box. And this was quite an expensive deck. And I was like, I got my notification on my phone. And I was like, I need to get home and take that out of my post box because anyone can put their hand in and take it out. So I dashed home on my lunch hour. I had like 20 minutes. So I literally ran home, took it out of the letterbox, opened it, looked through all the cards, counted the cards, tried to put them back in order, and then I had to run back to work because I was like, I didn't have so much time left over. So I haven't done anything else apart from that because the last couple of days have just been like crazy. So how about we choose a card and read from the guidebook? Should we do that? Let's just look at a couple more cards. I like this a lot. Really like this. This horned figure. It kind of reminds me of this dark figure that I keep getting in my peripheral vision, the glimpse I keep getting. Which one should we read for? What do we think? Cast your votes. Cast your votes. Oh, can we take the Queen of Wands? Because the Queen of Wands is feeling a bit relevant to me at the minute. So this is the guidebook. I think this is purchased extra if you order the deck. If you can even order the deck, I don't know. I'm really sorry. I haven't done any research to be able to sell you this deck because that's not what it's about. I'm just, you know, showing you a little bit of a haul that I've gotten. So here we go. Let's look at the guidebook, which I haven't looked at yet, which I want to read through. So we've got a contents page if you want to know what's in it. Here we go. Pause if you'd like to pause now to read. And then we have, here we go. So we've got some information about the deck, structure, history of tarot, learning the tarot, reading styles. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of information. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. We're looking for the Queen of Wands. Now this appears to be, let's just look here. Oh, I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. Nincompooperi, I should have looked at this earlier. Okay, so we've got a bit of a, here we go. We've got a bit of a wands explanation going on here. Wands from a gothic perspective. Interested to read that later. Then we've got Ace 2, 10, and then it appears the court cards are somewhere else in the book, which is typical. I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. I know, time is money. Your time is precious. I do appreciate that, and I do appreciate you being here. Okay, so, goodness me, look at this. Okay, so here we go. We've got the Queen of Wands. We finally made it to the Queen of Wands. Sorry, I need to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, dagnammit, it's gone. Wait. Oh, dagnammit. Don't you hate that when your sneeze disappears? I hate that. Okay, Queen of Wands. Lighter or more conventional meanings. Darker shadow or hidden meanings. And we've got a general meaning. Some further ways to consider this card. I like that. Then we've got some like quotes almost, or some, here's Edgar. Ellen. But Ellen, get a grip, Angel, come along now. Edgar Allan Poe, The Black Cat. We've got a bit of a snippet from that. We've got Arthur Macahan, The Great God Pan. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly. And then we've got the final, Arthur Conan Doyle, The Brazilian Cat. We've got like some literature inserts there also. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to read the lighter and the darker. Okay, lighter or more conventional meanings. An attractive woman, someone passionate and sensual, an energetic and warmly affectionate person. A rather theatrical man or woman, this person likes to perform. We've got the darker or shadow side. Someone whose sensuality is disturbing, overwhelming energy, a man or woman who tends to draw you into their own world. Witchcraft and dark magic, a vain, self-absorbed woman or feminine man, a neurotic attention seeker. Ooh! So there we go. I'm going to read this as well. Some further ways to consider this card. There are 2 black cats, one real and one on the Queen's fan. You'll need to look closely to see this one. Look closely, look closely. Can you see it? Can you see it? Interesting. What are the various ways in which you might interpret the symbolic presence of these cats? Consider how the figures painted on the ballroom wall might contribute to the potential meanings of this card. Oh, I like that. There's like this Easter egg nugget of information. I like that. Oh, very excited. Okay, so that was the extended guidebook. This is the normal guidebook that you get with the deck. Okay, Queen of Wands, where are you, lovey? Here we go, here we go. Bit of a short entry there. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you can see that, sorry. Queen of Wands, an attractive woman, someone passionate and sensual, an energetic and warmly affectionate person, a rather theatrical man or woman, this person likes to perform. Okay, so you get the light side and the dark side, which you did in the guidebook. Love the box. That's quite cool, isn't it? Beautiful. Yeah, that's it. They were the decks. Those were the decks. Can't even speak English. I'm so excited. So yes, I have one more deck that's due to arrive, which is the Fallen Angels Oracle deck. I'm not going to do a mini haul for that one, but keep a lookout in my November favourites. What I'm going to say, since the beginning of November, I've kind of been tentatively dipping my toes into this this work, but I'm actually planning on doing, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, this work with the Cluedo board, which is almost like a map of my mausoleum. So my plan is to, you know, gather the decks. I've already got a whole list of prompts that I've been like gathering over November. When I come upon, I've been thinking about this quite, you know, deeply, and I want to take my time with it. So I've kind of been, every time I come upon a prompt, I've been writing it down. So I've got a whole list of things I want to, you know, work with. And obviously those prompts are going to open up further dialogues with the decks, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, the question is, I don't think I'm going to be, you know, done and dusted with this shadow work that I'm doing. But it's fine. It takes the time it takes, and I'm in no rush. I want to do it properly, and I want to really excavate and really investigate and explore these I'm going to say dark, dusty, locked rooms of my inner mausoleum, to really, you know, get to the bones of the matter. That's what my practice is all about right at the minute. Love this. So yeah, this is me at the minute. I'm kind of, you know, outside my mausoleum waiting. I've taken a pause. I'm kind of gathering my resources, and I'm preparing myself for this journey, or for this next phase. So yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm dusted. My coffee's nearly finished, and the video is definitely finished. So I'm going to thank you so much for spending some time with me again. Apologies for the longer video. Have a lovely day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in this world. Take care, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Toodaloo.